Well, hello, my jazzy friends. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe, and it's lovely to see you as always. Today is the first video of the new series on this channel, which is about Dragon Age lore and companions. And we are kicking off with the entire life and history of Alistair. Alistair was born in 26 Wintermarch in the year 910 of the Dragon Age, most likely in Redcliffe. Alistair was raised by the Earl of Redcliffe, Earl Eamon. He was conceived by King Maric and his mother, which we'll get onto a little bit more later, but he was brought up to believe that his mother was a serving girl, a serving maid, at the castle, and that she died in childbirth. He also believed that he had a half-sister called Goldana. However, in reality, his heritage means that King Caelan is his half-brother, but Alistair's royalty was kept secret to protect the memory and to not disrespect Queen Rowan, the deceased but former queen and wife of King Maric. It's also suspected that his mother asked him to be raised away from court, so he would be kept ignorant of his heritage, but again, a little more on that later. Earl Eamon was like a father to Alistair. As a child, Alistair worked as a stable boy. He had a strained relationship with the Earl's wife, Arlessa Isolde, who suspected that the Earl had not taken in just a simple and insignificant child of a servant. Rumours circulated often that Alistair was actually Eamon's bastard child, though the rumours and suspicions were never confirmed, obviously, as they were untrue. Eventually, Isolde demanded that Alistair be sent away to the Chantry, and Eamon relented, sending 10-year-old Alistair away to Bourneshire Monastery. At the Chantry, Alistair trained to be a templar. Alistair hated the monastery life and did not speak to Eamon after this. He didn't feel like he fit in very well there with either the commoners or the nobles training there, and was found to never suit or enjoy a life of religious devotion. He excelled at the training section though. He enjoyed the mental and physical discipline and the education that he received there. He also spoke about how the casual wear was very comfortable and fashionable. Due to his religious undertaking, Alistair had also never had a relationship or experienced any kind of intimacy. In the year 929 Dragon, the commander of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, Duncan, came to the Bourneshire Chantry announcing that he was looking to recruit a new Grey Warden to the Order from the Templars. At this time, Alistair had not yet taken his vows to becoming a full Templar. The Templar Knight Commander decided to organise a tournament to show off the strength and the fortitude of the potential recruits before Duncan. Duncan then specifically asked Alistair to take part in the tournament, and in the end Alistair placed 4th. Despite not being the winner, Duncan picked Alistair to be the Warden recruit. It is said that Duncan could tell the strength of Alistair's character, and that he had a good and loyal heart, though also Duncan did know who Alistair really was. Since Alistair didn't fit in well with the other Templars or the Templars in training, and he took an instant liking to Duncan, he was pleased to leave. His departure was met with a great deal of resistance from the Grand Cleric, but Duncan invoked the right of conscription, which is a power a Grey Warden has to demand any individual can be drafted into the Order, making the Chantry powerless but to hand over Alistair. The Grand Cleric still did not wish him to go, but they could not overrule the right of conscription. Alistair's eagerness to be drafted probably stemmed not only from his bitter unhappiness at the Chantry, but his yearning for some kind of belonging and acceptance. Alistair was one of 2 survivors at his joining ceremony. Within months of Alistair joining the Wardens, the Grey Wardens prophesied a blight. Duncan warned the king, and though the king made some arrangements, it was clear he did not take the matter very seriously. Alistair is still the most recent recruit into the Order during the events of Dragon Age Origins. He accompanies the player's warden and 2 other potential recruits into the Korcari Wilds as part of their pre-joining trials. Alistair is also present at the beacon of the Tower of Ishal, and is therefore saved when the other wardens are massacred because of Loghain abandoning the king and his men. Alistair is nursed back to health with the player's warden, and is crushed to hear of the betrayal at the battle and the death of Duncan. He takes his loss incredibly poorly. He's also rightfully furious about Theirin Loghain's actions at the battlefield, and wishes to visit Earl Eamon to explain the situation, enlist his help, and see Loghain brought to justice. He accompanies the player's warden through enlisting the help of different races and groups within Ferelden, to battle and defeat the Darkspawn, the Archdemon, and the Blight altogether. During Origins, you see Alistair is oftentimes wary of mages, and particularly dislikes Morrigan. He has a cynicism towards her due to her being an apostate, which is an illegal mage raised outside of the circle, and she makes constant digs at him for his low intelligence levels. Depending on the player's actions in Origins, Alistair can either become king, leave the Grey Wardens, die to the Archdemon, or none of the above. So this is where his story splits off a little bit. In Dragon Age 2, if he was previously made king in Origins, he will visit the city of Kirkwall and will argue with Knight Commander Meredith regarding mages. Alistair will also talk to Hawke during this and discuss Ferelden and a couple of other things as well. If he leaves the Wardens, you'll find him in a cameo in Dragon Age 2 as well, where he's drunk in the Hanged Man pub, and very clearly in a bad way. He has no direction, no purpose, no place where he fits in once again. He's very obviously not doing so hot. But in this reality, Ban Tegan does come and bring him home to Ferelden after he spends a few years in Kirkwall. If he doesn't die, and he continues to be a warden, he appears very briefly in Dragon Age 2 also. He's seen in the city when the fight with the Qunari kind of kicks off. He will gift Hawke the Sacred Heart, but he doesn't get involved with the conflict with the Qunari, and he departs quite quickly. Moving on to Inquisition. If he remained a living warden in Origins, Hawke will contact him to investigate the Red Lyrium. Alistair is concerned about the premature calling with the Wardens and corruption. Alistair joins Hawke the Inquisitor and their forces when they go to Adamant Castle. When they get trapped in the Fade, Alistair is present then also. When the party nears their escape, they find the Nightmare preventing their leave. When they reach the Rift, the Inquisitor must decide who will stay behind to distract and fight the Nightmare, allowing the rest of the party to escape. Hawke and Alistair will both offer themselves up, and the player chooses between them who to sacrifice. If Alistair stays behind, he will remain in the Fade. It's not confirmed, but it's widely believed that he will die there. If he escapes during Adamant, he will take command of the remaining Wardens. Again, skipping to a slightly alternate reality, alternate set of choices. If he's made king in Origins, he allows the rebel mages to take refuge in Redcliffe. But following the events with the Tevinter Magisters, he will arrive in Redcliffe with numerous soldiers, and Anora if you crowned them together, and he will inform the Inquisitor and the rebel mages that the mages should take any deals that the Inquisition is willing to cut them, as they aren't welcome to stay there any longer. When the mages come back to Skyhold, it is revealed that Grand Enchanter Fiona, an elf mage, is the mother of Alistair. This is not something that Alistair himself knows, as far as the games insinuate. This, as I said previously, was one of the reasons he was kept away from the crown and kind of that life. When Fiona told Marek about their son, she said, "I want him to be fully human and not in line for your throne, not competing with your other son and tied to this royal blood that has brought you nothing but grief." That's really where we're up to with Alistair's story so far. We don't really have anything else right now. That's kind of the present point that we're at. Hopefully we'll get something Alistair related in Dragon Age 4, and if we do, obviously I will be making a full video about it because I'm always here for Alistair. But yes, hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something new, maybe. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.